gentlemen, special show tonight. We've got the host of Funemployment Radio, Sarah X. Dillon and Greg Nibbler. Yeah, give it up. We have a very special guest, the author, artist of Oh Joy Sex Toy. Put your hands together for Ms. Erika Moen. We've got the co-host of Les Standup, local comedian Caitlin Weierhauser. We've got musical guest, the mayor of Portland hip hop, Cool Nutz, ladies and gentlemen. We've got commentary, shenanigans from our writing staff. We've got tunes from our house DJ, Bobby D from X-Ray FM. Give it up for him. So much more happening tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring your host out right now. Put your hands together for Alex Falcone.
Thank you guys so much for all being here. I really just want to hear Bree say Cool Nutz is here over and over and over again. That was so fun. This is going to be such a great show. We have a little time at the top for some news. I want to tell you about some things in case you haven't been paying attention to the news around your fair city and state. This week, a Springfield man set fire to an ATM to try to cover up the fraudulent deposits he'd been making. He was hoping that the fire would be hot enough to kill the tiny gnome inside that keeps track of all the little numbers and stuff. Police say the man would have gotten away with it too if only he had had a better grasp of security cameras, physical evidence, crime, digital data, the melting point of steel, and especially the way fire and ATMs work. Other than that, it's a perfect crime. He was really close. A woman is suing the city of Portland this week for $60,000 because she broke her foot while standing in line for a food cart. You guys seem mixed feelings on that. That's fine. I'm just going to say right now, I'm just going to predict the next two lawsuits she's going to do. One is for the hospital floors being too cold, and the other one is for her husband for making fun of her for losing her lawsuits against the hospital and the city. I'm not a lawyer, but $60,000 seems pretty high for one foot, right? Like, pretty sure my foot is only worth $10,000, and I'm famous. So there's some new people here because they didn't laugh hard enough. They think I'm actually famous. Another great lawsuit this week. A woman is suing the Oregon Lottery, claiming the video poker machines overestimate her odds of winning. Yeah, it turns out we're not paying for all of these schools and forests by just letting people win at video poker. Apparently she just found out. A new study this week, this is the best story of the week by far. A new study out of OHSU scientists proved that birds slur their songs when they're intoxicated. But according to scientists, they dance way better. So it's worth it. Scientists say that the worst part is that some birds will just keep flying to the KJ booth every 5 fucking minutes and being like, when's my song coming up? When asked why they need to perform a study like this, ornithologists said, hey, a dare's a dare. A dilapidated house in Ashland was recently discovered to actually be the city's first train depot, built in the 1800s and lost for over 50 years. Plans are already... Sorry, there's just a weird... Yeah. Plans are already underway, apparently, to carefully restore the building with the utmost respect towards its history and then sell it to McMinimans. So, it's going to turn out fine. A tanker truck crashed on the Mackenzie Highway and spilled over 1 million salmon onto the highway. You heard this? Somebody heard this? There you are. Yeah, salmon. Yeah, 1 million of them. She's confirmed that this is a real story and we're not just making up a bunch of dumb animal stories this week. Apparently most of the salmon were recovered, but sadly 11,000 of them are now sleeping with themselves. So, Sam, it's a good time for a slow clap. That was exactly right. Apparently, though, at the same time, local bears have been reportedly begun a new religion based on the tanker truck deity. They're all telling their little cubs, they're like, come here, cubs, we have to tell you about the great provider, Optimus Prime. It's my bear impression. I have just one impression, and it's high-pitched bear. The governor of Washington State is proposing this week a 95% tax on all vaping-related products. Not because they're dangerous, they just look hella dorky. Vaping enthusiasts, this is true, vaping enthusiasts in the state of Washington they've said they will leave the state if this is enacted. At which point the governor immediately said, did I say 95? I meant 1,000%. Just one person really hates vaping products, everybody else. Police arrested a man this week who broke into a Kaiser home, drank all of their booze, took a shower, and then chilled in their hot tub. He's being formally charged with relaxing hella hard and going up on a Tuesday. He's also under investigation for 2 counts of being too cool for Kaiser. It's a very serious charge. If he's convicted, he'll have to serve out the rest of his sentence in a Miami penthouse with T-Pain. So, it's a pretty stiff penalty. 2 sheep dressed in overcoats were caught wandering through southwest Portland on the streets. Yep. It is suspected that the clothed sheep were only walking around after their hilarious attempt to get a bank loan failed. It's really cute. Car2Go said this week that they're still dealing with the problem of people stealing the wheels off the back of their smart cars. Yeah, come on, Car2Go. If you don't want to stealing the wheels off your cars, don't make them so cute and tiny. Police say they are trying to catch the person responsible for this because they have to say that they're the police. To finish out the monologue today, we have a couple of other stories that are really interesting that I really want us to talk about, but we have a lot of women's issues in the news this week, and I thought it would be better if we had Bree finish out the monologue today. Is that okay, you guys? Yeah, please welcome back Bree Pruitt for the rest of the monologue.
Thank you very much, Alex. Pretty exciting news. Portland feminist bookstore, In Other Words, has announced that they are staying open after a fundraising campaign. Big fans of In Other Words. I am so relieved because Barnes & Noble said they'd call the cops the next time I started reading bell hooks in my outside voice. They're not okay with it. Meanwhile, the men's rights bookstore is doing fine. I don't know if you guys have been to the men's rights bookstore. There's one at Lloyd Center. It's called Lids, I think. This is an interesting story. Some University of Oregon football players will be disciplined for chanting "no means no" at an accused rapist on the opposing team. Yeah. And they are going to be disciplined by the school, but blown by so many women's studies majors, you guys. A former resident of Portland was targeted for speaking out against sexism in the video game industry. And then she was targeted by having a dozen fully armored cops descend on her house. And that's a threat that's known as swatting, a common tactic of the misogynist Gamergate activists. But actually, being duped by chauvinists in the video game community is surprisingly the least embarrassing thing that the police have done in the last couple of weeks. So... not too shabby. Finally, this story, 2 Oregon Duck fans got married at the Rose Bowl. Did you guys see that? They got married at the Rose Bowl. Yeah, I know. I imagine their proposal went something like this. Baby, you know how we're super basic? Are we super basic, babe? Yeah, you know how, like, you bought my diamond at Jared and our Outback Steakhouse is, like, our favorite restaurant and we love Maroon 5? What if we got married at the Rose Bowl? Oh, are we gonna wear jerseys like idiots? You know it. Media pundits are still speculating where they're gonna get divorced. Ladies and gentlemen, the women's monologue.
Well, Bree Pruitt, everybody. You didn't throw the card. That's what I always do when I finish and the last joke doesn't work. I throw the card at them like it's their fault.
Well, I wouldn't have to. I wouldn't want to make you pick them up later.
In addition to being the host of the show, I'm also the intern.
Yep.
So.
A lot of new folks at the show today.
Yeah. So I didn't hear who's never been here before?
Everybody. No one has been here before.
Wow. The sound guy raised his hand. That's not a good sign.
Not a good sign. He's been here every time. So our sound guys
it's so good to have you guys. We have such a great show tonight. I mean, they've all been great shows, and you're sorry you missed them, but this is a particularly great show. Was it what?
It's a keeper.
It's a keeper. I thought you said it was in the paper, which it was. I'm also impressed that all of you managed to get here at the right time, despite the Willamette Week saying it started at 8. So, which I should just clarify: the Willamette Week is wrong about everything, but that one was our fault. So.
It's all health goths in this part of the audience.
Oh, yeah. That one was definitely our fault. So that was not them. We're sponsored by the Mercury, required to say that. Let's get moving, you guys. We have so much good show to get to today. So let's talk about this. So you mentioned the story in your monologue about the Gamergate thing. Did you guys hear this story? The swatting? Okay, so it's a Portland woman, and she plays video games on the video game broadcasting website Twitch, and just a way to share footage of you playing video games.
It's where people watch other people play video games because that's a thing.
Yeah, and she was the victim of a prank this week, which is called swatting, and it's part of game. Anyway, the point is it's a very confusing story. So to sort out what's actually going on in this story, I'd like to bring out our senior technology correspondent, who's actually on the phone today. Our senior technology correspondent, my grandfather. Are you there, Papa Falcone? Can you hear us?
Hey, Alex, can you hear me? Are you still doing that little show in the Mississippi River?
It's at Mississippi.
It's Mississippi Studios. It's a bar. But yeah, thanks for being here, Grandpa. I really appreciate you joining us. So can you tell us about this swatting story?
Look, Alex, I've been trying to make heads and tails of this for a week now, and I'm no closer than when I started. All right, so there's like this woman, and she has like a Twitch, and then she should get that looked at. And then she's playing a game, and someone like swatted her like she was a fly. And they were all mad about that Gerald Butler movie from like 6 years ago called Gamer, which wasn't even that bad. I don't know why the movie Gamer gets a gate, but Adam Sandler continues gets off scot-free. You kids don't make any sense.
Grandpa, it's weird that you know so much about pop culture from 6 years ago, but nothing about today.
It's been a tough couple of years, Alex.
Okay.
You know that.
All right, fair enough. So let me help you out just a little bit. So she was doing what's called a Let's Play on Twitch, and someone sent a SWAT team to her house.
Let's play? Like Jigsaw from those Saw movies? Like, let's play a game. I'm gonna make you get a key out of a stranger's stomach to teach you by your own will to live. In that case, thank God someone called a SWAT team on it.
I don't think it's like that at all, Grandpa, but you should not be watching those movies.
I don't know how to change the channel on my new remote.
I'm sorry, Grandpa. I don't know why you started on HBO 2 or whatever, but so this woman, she was playing video games online, and they called a SWAT team to her house like it was a prank.
A prank? SWAT teams are not for pranking, Alex. I don't know. I mean, use a SWAT team for a prank if you're trying to prank, I don't know, like the Sudanese Liberation Army, then sure. But that's about it.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
What happened to good pranks, like shaving cream in someone's hand or putting someone's hand in warm water while they're sleeping so they pee themselves? Or poking holes in your brother's condom with a tack? Now those are pranks.
Jesus, Grandpa, that last one, that was pretty scary.
But you got a great Uncle Charlie out of it, didn't you?
Okay, Grandpa. Well, okay, let's get back on track. So, do you have any insight into like what would cause people to do this sort of a thing?
I've been thinking about it.
Okay.
My best guess would be that a bunch of neck-bearded virgins who are so threatened by strong women that they lash out behind the anonymity the internet provides to cowards in order to work out their own insecurities with women.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
that was
that's right.
pretty good,
What
Grandpa.
did I just say?
What?
I think I blacked out. What did I say? Am I one of those Saw movies? Oh, God. I can't even solve the most basic of riddles.
Okay. I'm sorry I can't help you. You're not in a movie, but I gotta go, Grandpa. Thanks for helping us out.
Don't cut off my hands. I need them for whittling.
Ladies and gentlemen, my grandfather,
Grandpa Falcone.
Papa Falcone, our senior technology correspondent.
Why does he know so much about those Saw movies?
He can't change the channel.
He's only got stars.
Yeah, I would have expected Grandpa's TV would be stuck on like Fox
Yeah.
or something. At least he wasn't. Yeah, at least he's not watching Fox News.
It's almost like that was a fictional character. Anyway,
It was almost like that was comedian Anthony Lopez. That was weird. You guys ready for our first guest?
Yeah.
You are? Please welcome out the host of the daily podcast, Funemployment Radio, Sarah X. Dillon and Greg Nibbler! Hey guys.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being for doing a visual medium with us.
I know this is a little weird for us.
Is this weird? Yeah, you've been doing radio every day forever, basically.
Yeah.
Forever, yeah, that's kind of what it seems like.
It is
yeah.
a little intimidating being in front of a bunch of faces.
Well, so for those of us, I like a lot of the time with our shows, like half of the crowd is here for one guest, and half is here for the other guest, and then half is here for Cool Nutz. So let's say, and then half is here for the
I
other.
would say everybody's here for Cool Nutz.
Most of you are here for Cool Nutz. But so for those of you who are, for people who are not familiar with the show, give us the origin story and tell us about Funemployment.
All right, so Funemployment Radio is a daily podcast that we do. We've been doing it for just over 5 years.
Yeah, 1,260 episodes,
Yes.
I believe.
So every weekday we do a show. We do an hour show. And before, though, we did that, like the way it all started was Sarah and I were in commercial radio for years and years, working for a bunch of different stations in town. And we both ended up working on the same show.
Rock 101 KUFO.
On Rock 101 KUFO.
Yeah.
Where we
Is
were on...
KUFO still around?
It is not.
It's not.
Or did
No.
they get taken away?
It got taken away actually about a year after we left it. So we were both on the Rick Emerson show, and then one day, as it happens in radio, the way that you get let go is you kind of know it's coming. You kind of know a little bit because people stop talking to you, and we notice nobody
Yeah.
would come down and talk to us. So
Our
it's
new-
like you're a pariah. Like nobody wants to be associated because they know you're the sinking ship.
Yeah, we had a new program director for 2 months, and he did not even
Never
introduce
met him.
himself to us.
Never met him. That's our boss. He never came down and met
It's
us.
like where you don't want to name the pigs on a farm because you know they're about to be slaughtered. If he put a face to your names, he couldn't fire you.
Right, by association.
Yeah.
So we came in, we did get let go, and it was us and all of the daily staff, like all the shows that were on during the day, all got let go at once on a Friday afternoon, and we're like, all right, well, that's happening. We had no idea what they were going to do with the station until Monday morning when they started up their new marketing campaign, which was KUFO, we just got our balls back. So that's how...
What?
That was their thing.
I
KUFO, we
kid
got
you
our
not,
balls
that was their
back.
campaign.
Because we had less balls than the people they
You guys
replaced
were-
us with.
You were the really constrictive what was the...
I guess so. We were the constrictive
I think we brought up
undercarriage.
books too many times. I don't know.
We did get told in a meeting to not talk about books.
We got
you
warned
really?
about that. Yeah. Yeah.
That is commercial radio in a
Yeah.
nutshell to
Book
me.
any more authors. We couldn't book authors anymore.
My vision of commercial radio is a guy played by Paul Giamatti at a desk just yelling, "Stop talking about books!" That's the whole thing.
Pretty much.
Pretty similar to that, actually. So after that happened, we were like, let's try doing something on our own. Where we can talk about books if we want to. And so within a week, Sarah and I are addicted to talking on the microphone. So we,
Yeah.
It's
we
true.
started and we tried a podcast, and we'd never actually worked together before, just one-on-one. And we tried it, and it's worked. And
Yeah.
now it's been
You had never
over 5 years.
been doing radio together before. You
Yeah.
knew each other,
Same
but you never.
show,
Yeah.
but just not
Like one-on-one.
there were 4 people on that show.
That's a brave commitment.
Yeah. Well, we did a few test episodes before because we're like, let's see if this works, if we get along, if we sound
If we
okay
can do
with the
3
two of
hours,
us.
let's commit for life.
I know. That's true. Yeah. We're gonna do this. Yeah. And 5 years later,
Yeah, it's still going.
We're still talking
We
at
haven't
each other.
killed each other yet.
You guys. So since you
Close.
guys do a daily hour-long chat together, do you not talk the other times so you save up your material, or do you do you bro down in the?
sometimes we'll save it for the show.
Yeah, we'll talk.
But no, we run in the same social circles, so I see his face way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We save up that animosity for the show.
Yeah.
Though, so.
Well, so what surprised you about having moved to this futuristic part of the radio from the old no books part? Is it just that you have a lot of fans who are literate, or?
That may be part of it. I mean, it was surprising of how right out the gate how many people were listening and how much bigger reach we have actually than terrestrial radio.
Yeah.
I mean, we have listeners from all over the world. Why they listen? That's
Right.
awesome. But I mean, from all over the
Good vote
place.
of confidence,
Yeah.
Greg.
Is this are you taking this
appreciate that
moment?
they listen.
You're taking this moment to be like, if you're listening from Nepal, go home. We got nothing for you.
Get out of here. No, it's been really, really cool to see how much you can really do, and also not have a program director tell us what we're
Yelling at you.
talking about.
Is it super Portlandy, your show? You know?
There's Portland to it, but it's more kind of a general.
It's more a lot about our lives than I do a weird news segment. Greg does Ball Talk, where he talks about sports.
Right.
And
This is the segment called "I've Got My Balls Back."
Yeah, basically that's what it was. It's like, I'll show you KUFO.
I've got a concept for a radio station that'll last up to a year.
No, the best thing about podcasting, though, is that it's destination listening. So everyone who listens to us likes us because they have to find the show. It's not like, tuning through a radio dial and just stumbling upon it. Like, they actively look for it.
Right, but it is very Portland. Like, you did a bike tour.
We did.
Right? Like, you do.
We do embrace our city. We love it.
We did a bike tour, over this summer. We had listeners could win a contest to go on a bike tour, and we took them around downtown Portland and to all these different places.
We ate lunch in a cemetery.
We did eat lunch in a cemetery, very Portlandy. We also
very goth.
made up all of the facts about Portland.
Oh, nice.
So we would go next to actual tour groups and then just spout out completely made up facts.
I love that.
That
He was
Willamette
tricking
River is
some
named
people.
after Will Ameti, who was a pioneer in 1432, and just yell this stuff out and confuse all these other tourists.
And tourists started coming toward Greg, like he was actually saying
you
real
say
facts.
it with confidence, people will believe it.
This is the craziest part of that story is that you could win a prize where you still had to ride your own bike. Like, you didn't have. It wasn't a party bus. It wasn't even a Segway. You had to pedal to stay with your.
That's a really shitty prize. You're
Not the best prize.
Think about it, yeah. When you put it that way.
So you guys you've had from basically right at the beginning, you guys have an amazing lineup of guests. You have your list of people who've been on your show is very impressive. What's give me a best, worst, easiest, hardest kind of guest. Give me who's been the most fun to interview?
My favorite was meeting Paul Reiser, I think.
Yeah, Paul Reiser was
Paul
awesome.
Reiser, because we'd kind of been warned. People were saying that he was kind of temperamental. Could not have been further from the truth. He was the nicest guy.
He was one temperament.
He was one temperament.
The whole
He was
time.
very,
He was
very
awesome.
kind.
I would say Aisha Tyler was
She's so funny.
Greg was speechless. He was sweating. He was
got it all.
so
I was.
nervous.
Is she gorgeous in person?
Oh,
yeah.
She's
Her
the most
favorite
beautiful
band
human being.
Yeah.
is my favorite band.
Clutch.
So Clutch. I'm like, you have everything. Yeah. So I
That's
did
it. You have everything. You're beautiful and you like Clutch. That's it.
That's it. That's all.
And she's a podcaster.
I know.
Yeah.
Fellow podcaster
that's
as
true.
well.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Checked
Yes.
all 2 of your boxes.
I'm a very simple man.
Hot and clutch.
Was there anybody who you were just like, this person? I just can't believe this person is talking to me that. Just seemed so far out of your interview league.
Oh, we've had some amazingly whip smart, intelligent people
Writers,
on where I'm just
book
they can
people.
see through me. They know I'm not that
I
bright.
think Greg Proops is kind of like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause he was one of our first guests actually that we had on.
He
the
was
show.
the first, I think, big name guest that we had on.
Yeah, and we've had him on 3 or 4 times.
In his defense, his show is called "The Smartest Man in the World."
This is
he
true.
does sort of look through everybody.
It's slightly intimidating.
by definition.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as for the most part, everyone's really nice. I remember I got into a fight with Michael Ian Black because we were arguing over what time zone you can feed gremlins after midnight.
Well, yeah, 'cause they say it's after midnight. You're not supposed to feed them, but what if you're in Central Time,
Right.
And the gremlins in Pacific Time? How
Right.
does that
I know. I'm putting it on my resume too. He called me a semantic bitch. Because
Which
we're like,
side
is
did
it
you
East
take?
Is it Pacific time? We don't know.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah,
were
he
you
was not
were you
happy.
of the which was your argument that he just?
I was just simply asking a question, and then he got
got
really
mad
worked
at
up
you.
about
He was
it.
very worked up about it.
He was.
Oh my
He was
God.
Very passionate about gremlins.
2014
I know.
beef with Michael Ian Black.
You're just tweeting at him every couple days Central Time. That's it.
That's what it is.
And then he comes back with Arizona, and then you have no idea what time it actually is there.
Nobody
Like,
knows.
who are you?
It'd be a terrible place to have it.
Is it exhausting to do the show every day? I mean, we do this show every other month, and I'm tired. How do you? Are you guys feeling like at some point maybe we should just take a break forever?
Well, we check ourselves every once in a while and be like, you
Yeah.
still like this? I still like this. We still have things to talk about. All right, we're still in the same.
And then we'll fight off air and do all
Yes.
that.
Sometimes on air.
That's perfect. Actually, that's a perfect segue because it does seem like it's kind of like a relationship.
It's like a work marriage kind of.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a work marriage, which Bree and I know a lot about, and so. Because we're also co-hosts of a show, weirdos. Anyway, so I know what it's like, right? And so what we've decided, my writing team has put together a game for us. If you guys are down,
Totally.
we're gonna play what we're gonna call the newly host game. So it's just like the Newlywed Game, but with hosts of a show. So let's bring out the host of the Newly Host Game, the Host Game's host, Lucia Fasano. Lucia. Mic over there.
Hey, late night action people! Woo! I'm your host, Lucia Fasano, and we're gonna find out who knows their co-host the most. Let's get a.
So what do you blanks to the ladies?
Yeah, let's get a blanks to the ladies, eh? Thank you. There you go. And then do you have the one that was here to the right? Thank you.
We don't usually work with a bunch of props and shit.
We're above that.
Okay, yeah. Great.
We right on the mat side?
Yeah, of course we're on the mat side.
Okay.
I don't care. Cool. So what happened, Lucia? So what's been going on?
All right. Well, let's see. We've got our two hosts of the Blazer Persuasion. Greg Nibbler over here. And
We are
Alex
gender
Falcone.
blazer.
Gender blazer. We are neutral about our blazers. I have a blazer.
Yeah, because you're hosting.
Everybody can have them.
Ready, Luke?
Yeah, and they have written the answers to these questions on their papers. And now, the co-hosts of the Dress Persuasion, it's also gender neutral, are going to write down what they think their co-host put as the answer. Now you get
Does
it?
that make sense?
Yeah, all right. Well,
So the boys already wrote down our answers.
I already wrote down
we already
their
have ours
answers.
from ahead of time. But
they
the girls
will
haven't seen it.
reveal them
Nice.
after we drum roll on our knees, because that's our budget right now. So, all right, let's for our first question. You ready?
Ready.
All right. Which movie makes your co-host cry
The most.
the most?
Because obviously all of them, but the most.
Any Iron Giant?
I cried at a Bud Light commercial the other day. So
The horse one?
No, it wasn't even a horse one. It was like, can I tell you while they're writing? So it was like this. It's just this this lady's sitting on a park bench, and the guy walks up to her, and she's like, "How did the interview go?" And he was like, "Great." And then they sit down and have a beer. He's just really happy that he got what he wanted out of life. It's just so beautiful.
All right, cut it out.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Now let's see what they think that makes their co-host cry the most. Bree Pruitt.
My girl. Macaulay Culkin gets stung by a bunch of bees. I won't spoil it for you.
All right, let's see. What did Alex Falcone put?
We're not gonna win.
Damn it! Damn it!
can't.
Damn it! It's in your jokes.
It's in his jokes. Bree.
We're not gonna win.
If you don't cry it up, you're a monster.
All right.
But the most. Anyway.
Yeah,
I'm more of a Cars girl. Okay. Let's get Sarah. All right, drum roll.
All right. I believe Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It's really sad when he gets his bicycle stolen. I don't know what movies you like. We're not winning either.
Or maybe.
I knew it.
I kid you not.
I knew it.
It's almost embarrassing that you knew that.
Every day. They see each other every day.
yeah.
Let's just get
Pee-wee's
that.
Big Adventure. It's
Let's
happy
say
tears though.
he's
It's awesome.
he's a rebel. All right, question number 2. Let's keep this ball rolling. All right, ladies.
So behind.
Okay, this is a.
We're crying just at how adorable that was.
That was so cute.
Okay, all right, Bree, look at me. We gotta do this.
Yeah.
So we can stay at Mississippi.
Oh no! The stakes are raised.
Stakes are raised. All right. What would you say is your co-host? What would your co-host say is their biggest weakness as a host, not as like a superhero?
As a host or a
Yes.
human?
As a host.
Because like snakes, otherwise, but like. Is it? Well, he already wrote his
Well, yeah,
down.
mine's already down. I'm not.
He's just finding out the answer sooner than you. Also, I'm going to make the bold prediction right now that this game is going to end 1-0. I think we're already lost. No, he got one the first one. He got the first. Okay. I'm ready. Are you guys ready? Are you guys in?
No.
Wait, sorry. We don't have the copyright for any game show.
I'm a little worried that Sarah wrote hers so fast, I'm afraid she has a laundry
It's
list.
not going to be right. He would never admit to the thing that is his weakness.
Oh!
Yeah.
Ooh, juicy. Who wants to know? No, I'm just kidding.
This is probably not the best time for constructive feedback.
All they're meaning to talk about.
Okay.
You've
You
already
can just-
written 4 different weaknesses and then crossed them all out.
So many.
Just draw a smiley face.
Just pick one.
All right.
All right, let's see. We'll start with Sarah. All right, Sarah, what do you think Greg thinks is his greatest weakness as a host?
Scared by pretty female guests?
I'm not gonna lie, that is true, but that is not what I wrote. I wrote
Pee-wee's Big Adventure again.
Large Marge.
Oh!
female guests talking about breastfeeding. It
Oh.
throws me off.
That's
Completely
pretty.
throws me off.
I give a half point for that.
I revised
point.
my prediction 1.5 to 0.
That did happen the other day.
It
He
happened the
buckled.
other day. That's why
Yeah,
it's
it's
relevant.
fresh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think Alex is a perfect host, so this is a really difficult question for me. But I think maybe interview questions.
Oh! Really?
Well, no, it's the part you wanted to help.
I think I'm gonna leave.
Sometimes.
Yeah, she
I
just
think
kinda-
that I thought what you think my biggest weakness is that I am too timid during the monologue. You think that I should have more confidence when I tell my jokes instead of apologizing for them.
Do we want to do this here?
Question number 3.
Wait, what did you write? Oh, you write timidness?
Question number 3.
Now this is the big one, folks. You can just leave after that. No, please stay for the whole show.
This is also mathematically we have been eliminated. Just let's make this one worth 2 points.
Yeah.
2 points.
Yeah.
It's not a real game, so we can change it.
You're an awesome host at this.
Thank you, and I'm gonna leave with this prize. Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay. What are your co-hosts' parents' names?
You've met them.
I know.
Greg, does she know? She wrote really
I'm gonna-
fast.
I'm gonna guess she does.
We're gonna lose 3.5 to 0. Shouldn't have
Unless
added
I'm
that
wrong, this
extra
will be
point. It just makes
embarrassing.
us look bad.
You know, it's our show. We could have cheated.
That's true. We did know that this was gonna happen.
Next time. All right.
I'll give you 1 point for each parent you get correct.
Oh,
So we might actually get on the
might
scoreboard.
get one. Yeah. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Falcone, Marilyn and Paul.
My parents' names are Steve and Kitty.
Okay. I would have put $1,000 of my own money on Marilyn. I don't know where that information came from.
She has a very memorable first name in that it's
Kitty.
Kitty.
Hello, Kitty.
I would have also taken Stephen and Catherine. But,
I am the wrongest one.
You're the wrongest?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Just show that you guys know each other better.
Yeah, we did.
Paul and Sandy.
And their
Bree got one of
I
your
got one of
your dad, too.
You get a point.
All right, well, we know who's a friend and who is also a friend. And I'm just going to leave before I get fired. Have a good night, everybody.
Lucia Fasano. You guys, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you. You are the better co-hosts. Maybe doing a show every day helps. You got at least a part of every. That's great. Also, so they can listen to the show, funemploymentradio.com.
Yep, that's correct.
That's
And
the best
every
way.
day at what time if you want to listen live?
If it's live, it's at 1 p.m. every weekday.
Nice. And then on the
podcast.
internet forever.
Yep.
Cool. You guys, Funemployment Radio, Sarah Kill and Greg Nibbler.
Thank you, everyone.
This is the first time.
We gotta go on some kind of camping retreat
should
or
have a
something, buddy.
retreat.
We have coffee like once a week.
I know.
Your parents don't come up that much.
Steve and Kitty, just for the record. Also, that's the first time I've ever hit a guest in the face with a pen. So I feel like Maybe you're right about interviews being the weak part.
No, it's not weak. We can't even open this door right now. I'm telling you right now, it's not good.
I think my interviews are my strongest. So,
You're perfect. You're perfect at it. I just thought that maybe.
I'm okay. I'm just kidding. You thought that maybe... No, it doesn't.
What monsters put that as a question?
Our writing
Our
staff.
writing staff is fired.
Anthony wanted to be like, where's the weirdest place you've ever had sex? But that's just Anthony wanted to know that, I think.
Perverts.
Yeah. All right, let's welcome out, it's time for our comedian. Let's get some comedy in here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. She's the co-host of Les Standup. Please give a warm round of applause for Kaylin Weierhauser!
Oh my God, everybody. What's up, Portland? I love starting my set like that. You guys should try it. I learned it on the bus. They love it when you do that. Just get on, what's up? And then you get right the fuck back off. Yeah. You can't stay on the bus. Do you guys like playing games? Are you guys gamers? Gamers? You know what my new favorite game is? Fucking with cat collars. Oh my God, you guys, this is my favorite. It's so much fun. Oh, it's a treat for me because I am never the intended target. It's not for me. Do you understand? It's not. And there's a certain amount of privilege in this butchness that comes with looking like I'm designed to fuck with Molly Ringwald. I know. It's a carefully curated look. I like to call Dapper Bully. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it works, you guys. Usually, I do like messing with the cat collars, though. That is my new favorite Portland thing. My goal is to dismantle the patriarchy. Is it weird that I just put the agenda in there? Usually, my interaction with cat collars goes something like this: like there's some jerk on a corner, and he's like, "Let me put my dick on you," or whatever. And then he turns to me and he's like, "Oh, hello, fellow male. Do you happen to have the time?" And I'm like, I'm a lady! Well, I used to. I don't do that anymore. Because I got a pity cat call. That hurts extra much. Yeah, I don't recommend them, you guys. That is icky. He was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Did you want one of these? Okay. Are you a girlfriend? Do you have are you a boyfriend? Do you have a girlfriend? Are you married? Are you married? Do you want to marry my dick? And I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. I did get catcalled out of the blue, and it scared the poop out of me. Oh, I didn't like it at all, because it's a rare thing. Usually, okay, so I get catcalled on the rare occurrence that, like, somebody's messing up big time. Like, they're just firing them all over the place. Like, they're, like, carpet bombing a city block. Just all reckless. I caught one of those. And it startled me. And so out of my mouth came just the most startled, oh no, go away from me! And it worked, you guys. It worked. Because his response was, Jesus, fuck! And I was like, oh, it's my turn again. Your dick is not welcome! And he apologized and went out of my life forever. Do you understand? We found a method. Street team, listen. They come at us. They come at you. Feminism. They come at us at like a level 4, level 5, right? They're softballing it. Here's what you do. You turn that up to 11. Just right out of the gate. And you out crazy the crazy. Do you understand? They don't see it coming. It's I found most effective if you can throw in like a toddler tantrum stance as you're doing it. So they're like titties or whatever, right? And you throw the stiff leg in there. No! Guess who's not getting bothered again? Yeah, it's still in beta testing. Just, I've been kicked off a bus so far, so be careful out there, troops. Be careful out there. They don't like when you yell about dicks on the bus, even if you don't want them. It's not. I used to do the lady thing. Now I do a new method, and that is recognizing how I present. I'm going to take advantage of it, so I muster up all my butchness. There's not a lot. It's mostly a facade. but I try to harness like a real commanding voice and just look him right in the eyes, and I'm like, nobody likes what you're doing. You're not the catcaller anybody deserves. I don't know what men sound like. I don't. Let's try. Thank you. And one of two things I hope to accomplish with that message is, one, they're going to be like, that guy's an asshole, but he has a good point. He has a good point. Or two, they're like, that's Batman? I don't... Should we listen to him? Probably. He's got a utility belt. I don't know. We can all agree that catcalling is a problem, right? This is a social problem. It's a total just pain in the butts, isn't it? Oh. What I'm blown away by is there's guys still on Facebook that are denying that this is a problem in any way. Do you guys have that? Do you guys go to high school with shitty people too? Do you guys, are they still on your Me too. This response in particular I'm blown away by. It's like, what is this? You guys just getting worked up over nothing? Why is this the first time that I'm hearing about this problem? Clearly, you guys are just getting trending, you know? Right? Okay. Dum-dums. Here's the thing. If you are told about a problem, about a social problem, and then you're like, no, you're the worst person. Because that, as we all know, is how learning works. Am I right? You didn't know about something and someone's like, this is what happened. And you're like, okay. I don't know about sports, but if one of my friends was like, okay, get this. Sometimes during a sports match, they have a guy in stripes that does Vogue poses. And then they go in a circle and they like hella touch butts. And then there's like some young person dressed up in a weird furry thing. I don't know. But I wouldn't be like, bullshit. I'd be like, oh, wow, that's probably because I've done zero research. Do you understand? Probably. I don't know. I'm willing to go with you on this. But not these guys. Not these guys on Facebook. No. Their response is akin to like a first grader. This is how ridiculous this is. Because we all exercise this logic, right? We would just have first graders all across the country just being like, whoa. What do you mean there's names for colors? Yellow? Are you kidding? I've never heard of this before. Come on, teacher. Aren't you just kind of getting worked up over nothing? Come on. What do you mean there's days of the week? They're labeled? I doubt it. I've never heard of this before. Wednesday? No. Today's tomorrow. Tomorrow's it's like 4 sleeps from now. That's not a thing. Thank you guys so much. It's been a real blast.
Kaylin Weierhauser! Also, please welcome out comedian and writer of the show, Mr. Anthony Lopez. Anthony, please join us. We have just a couple minutes, you guys, before our intermission, so I want to do some quick panel action. First of all, I just wanted to just agree with you about how people that you went to high school on Facebook, that and they have cute babies, and so you can't unfollow them, but then they're also racist. It's very troubling.
I feel like it's equal, though. It's like a ratio of like, oh my God, you made another adorable baby, and then you said something really messed up. Oh, we're still okay. We're at 0.
And there's no shortage of adorable babies. You guys, you can find other adorable babies. I can send you some links.
Get at me with that.
How did you make that sound so creepy?
Yeah. It's the mustache.
Yeah,
That is something so wholesome.
That's why you guys pay me to be here.
All right, some quick stories in the news I want to hear from all of you guys about. The first one is an Oregon seed company is the first in the U.S. to sell a hybrid plant that has both tomatoes and potatoes on the same vine. It's called a tomtato or a ketchup and fries. That's a real thing that you can buy. That's a seed that you can buy. Let's start at the creepy end. Anthony, how do you feel about that?
Whenever I read anything like that, I'm always just like, what does that person say if there is a God and they get to heaven and like God's like, well, that's what you did with your life? I could have done that, dick. I did it for a reason. You quit being me. You want to do my job? Get back here, right? There's fires all over the place you can put out.
Are you sure he didn't just not think of how delicious ketchup on fries would be? Like, he had a lot of shit to think about.
Yeah, I mean, like 6 days of work will fry your brain like that. You won't.
I can only imagine. Bree, what do you think about that?
I just think that, like, engineers, you can make a cute, adorable plant, or you can make food that grows near starving people, and that would be really helpful too. Look, I'm speaking truths, and you can hear them or you can't.
Kaylin, how do you feel about the Tomtato? You're giving props.
I love that we have both agreed on a notion of God and have gendered him as a he, just right off.
Oh, shit. We don't like that.
I don't like it. I am most frustratingly one of the most progressive people in the world, like annoyingly.
So which would annoy you less? Is if it was a lowercase he because we're not agreeing on God, or a capital they? Which would be weirder? I don't know. How do you feel about the Tomtato?
I think they just got put together because they sound similar, and I'm not behind it.
You don't like genetically modified rhymes?
I don't like how symmetrical that was to combine them. I don't agree with it, you guys. It's conspiracy.
Like a plant that grew beans and jeans.
Like this has it. Thank you.
It does feel like they're putting their. All right. This is probably the biggest story from the last couple weeks. We definitely have to talk about the man who sold his mattress on Craigslist without realizing his girlfriend's cat was hiding in the box spring. Can rest easy. Camo the cat has been found and returned. There was a couple of days where we didn't know where Camo was because of the mattress incident, but he was found out by the Hillsborough Airport. Are you happy that Camo's back?
Oh, so much. I'm so happy that this happened in the first place, but let me explain. You know when you witness a new bar being set for how much you can mess up in a relationship? I didn't sell your cat.
Honey, I sold your cat on Craigslist.
And get it lost for 2 weeks. I didn't do that. I did ask you one time if you're never not on your period, but I didn't sell your cat.
We don't even have a cat to sell. I just think at least the cat was recovered. It ended up okay because the mattress was sold on Craigslist. Things could have gone a lot worse.
Getting a free cat is the best case scenario, buying a mattress on Craigslist.
Right.
That turns out pretty well. Like, you're expecting bed bugs, you get a cute kitty. That's not bad. Anthony, what do you think?
I love movies like Homeward Bound, Fido Goes West.
Saw.
And now that I know those movies are like all technically documentaries, because this cat did it. It makes me feel good. Like, that cat went on an adventure. He met a scrappy young mouse who needed to appease his father. He met like a rough dog voiced by John C. Reilly.
Oh, I'd watch that.
It was such a wonderful tale, all told in 90 minutes. It was great.
And now he's seen some shit, right? Like, he's coming back to the home front with, like, a lower back tattoo, an earring. He knows. Right now, probably as we speak, maybe it's done now, in the last hour, the famous Heartless Idiots from the Westboro Baptist Church are in town protesting the Blazers game tonight. Yeah. Because the Blazers came out in favor of gay marriage. Yeah. Was that just for gay marriage, or for them protesting it, or for the Blazers coming out for it? There were so many nouns in that one. It's a weird time to clap. Bree, I know that I can count on you for any story that's about equality and the Blazers at the same time. What do you think we should do about the protesters? What do you think?
Well, I think that I'm glad you came to me first, and that you can count on me because I didn't think about this. Oh.
That's why you were pulling out your phone?
I was busy checking the score. We're up. It's 40. We're up by 7 at the half. Guys, that's enough for me. I think that's good.
We're up our basketball team over the other basketball team, or our basketball team over the Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah.
I feel like we were going to come out ahead. I don't know if you guys saw, there was Portland came together with a couple of good counter protests. There was a cross-dress dance party that was everybody put on right in front of the protest, which I think is really fun. And I do think most things could be solved with dancing in front of somebody. I like that idea. What do you think? You're nodding at that.
We saw it on the way over, and there was a counter protest of people holding up sheets on sticks to block the hateful nonsense that they were doing. And then there was a ring around them of a smaller Westboro Baptist Church protesters protesting, and then a smaller circle blocking the message. And I think this is how we made fractals, you guys. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Jesus is against those too. So really punched Jesus in the face on that one.
Are they smaller people or are they?
They're just smaller.
Okay, good. So it's just putting kids in the front.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. You mentioned it under your breath, but that is something they said. That was the quote from the Baptist Church: is that the Blazers punched Jesus in the face. Which I'm just impressed that they did that without spraining a shoulder, because
we need those shoulders.
Those Blazers. Anthony?
They're gonna take it.
Okay, so the Westboro Baptist Church doesn't come to Portland often, and when they do, they're like protesting the Blazers. What does that be like for the members of that church when they get there and they're like looking at the Blazers, and then they see a bunch of like proud, openly gay people over there, and then like a feminist bookstore, and then all these other things, and their brains just melt and they scream. For all the amazing things the incredible heathens of Portland do, the Blazers are the things that pisses them off. I just love that.
And that Darth Vader playing bagpipes on a unicycle punched Jesus in the face.
That donut looks like a cock and balls. That punched Jesus in the face. At least Jesus knows how to take a punch at this point from Portland.
Yeah.
Really quick, we have to wrap up. Lightning round. We'll start with you, Anthony. What are your New Year's resolutions this year for 2015?
I got 2 of them. Run a 5K and stop being so tough on myself when I don't complete my resolutions.
Bree Pruitt, what are your 2015 resolutions?
Just be a little less late to things.
like check your phone before it's your turn to answer a question?
Yeah.
Nice. Caitlin.
It's such a big commitment. I'm approaching this year with I want to make a resolution.
Aww.
So you're you have your resolution,
you.
and then there's a protester, and then a smaller resolution, and then that's how you made fractals of resolutions. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Lopez and Kaylin Weierhauser, and of course Bree Pruitt. That's the panel. You guys, it's time for our next guest. She's the artist and co-author of the webcomic and now book, Oh Joy Sex Toy. Please welcome out Erika Moen! Hey, Erika, thank you for being here. I am so excited to talk to you. So you have, this is your book. Let's start here. Let's just show you what the book looks like. This is you on the front looking super cool.
So cute.
And this is very exciting. This came out very recently, and you put it out yourself?
Yeah, it's self-published. My husband and I self-published it together under my horribly named LLC name, so I was like, okay, we're a business now, so I need to register an LLC.
Right.
And for some reason, I didn't think you were allowed to register it as your own name. So rather than just being Erika Moen LLC, I was like, I got to describe what I do. So it's Erika Moen Comics and Illustration, LLC. It doesn't fit on checks.
And if you add another business, it just gets longer.
Yeah, that was the worst business decision I've made so far. But that is who published that book, is Erika Moen Comics and Illustration, LLC, publisher.
It does make it sound more legit that it's longer. I don't know. I like that. So for those of you, for the people who are here for Funemployment and for Cool Nutz, tell us about the project. So this started as a webcomic, ojoysextoy.com, and it's you
and my husband.
Your husband, and you are. What are you doing?
Okay, well, it's a comic that it sort of talks about everything that has to do with sex and sexuality in the sex industry. And as you can tell from the title, Oh Joy Sex Toy, I do a lot of sex toy reviews. So I am a professional full-time sex toy reviewer.
Woo! But you're employed by Erika Moen, buys sex toys and uses them and then talks about it.com.
LLC, yeah. my boss is the worst.
So you review sex toys and then you make comics about them and then all about other parts of sexuality. And then the book is a compilation of the first
year's worth of comics, yeah. So we launched the site in April 2013, and then April 2014 was the first year, so put it all in a book. And it's almost 3 pounds. 1 year is almost 3 pounds of comics.
Big and hefty. And also, I like the number 1. It's very confident.
Yeah.
It's I would have just called this The Great Book, but you guys were ready.
Well, you're a comic book artist, so this is like a graphic novel style where it's
Right.
going to be
it's
serialized.
number 1 of my series.
Dope, dude. I love it.
So what have you learned in the first year of drawing comics about sex and sexuality? What has that been?
Well, if I don't draw backgrounds, I can get a lot more pages done more quickly.
All right. Good lesson.
Number one.
Number one.
And number two is, so just because you decide to like talk about something a lot, people then think that you're an educator on that subject. Right. And it's like, oh guys, I know technically what I'm doing is helping sex education, and I'm doing comics about sex education, but Jesus Christ, I'm not qualified to be a sex educator. Like, everything in there is just stuff you can learn from Wikipedia. I just draw pictures next to it.
So you get a lot of, like, do people ask you to come into classes all the time? And
not so much, like, I get a little bit of that, but places that would have me, like, high schools, that's the kind of place you think where they'd bring in sex educators, and it's like, nobody's gonna bring me in a high school. Okay. You know what I mean? But no, I get a lot of, like people online are like, Erika Moen, you're supposed to be a sex educator. How could you blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, whoa, who told you that? Because you have some misinformation, my friend. And then I also get a lot of emails from people that are like, could you recommend me a dildo that looks like this but doesn't look like that, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no.
I think you actually might be more of an expert there. Like, there's not like a schooling program for that and a year's worth of reviews. Maybe that's you do actually say on your FAQs on your website, like, no advice, like you just don't have time. Do a lot of people ask you sex advice questions too?
I just got an email from somebody asking me if they were pregnant.
With no other information? Yes, probably. That's...
Well, Erika...
Check.
Did you use a condom?
No, and they gave the thing where they were just like, usually we use condoms, but then like the last month we haven't been. Am I pregnant? And I was like, I didn't have the heart to reply because it was a very heartfelt email, right. And I just couldn't reply to it, period, because there was no way for me to do that without being snarky. Because they asked, is there any way for me to know for sure if I'm pregnant? It's like, have you never heard of the pee stick?
It's so funny. They probably had no one else to ask, and that's why you got the email.
I think it was the panic where you're just like, oh, I need to ask somebody. Oh, Erika talks about sex. Tell me, Erika, am I pregnant? And I couldn't reply because I would have been snarky, and that they don't need that right now. They have enough on their mind.
Maybe, tough love, snarky love, is that a thing?
Or you could Google, am I pregnant? And I'm sure Google would be able to give you some help. But
I bet if you start typing on Google, am I, the fill-in is going to be pregnant.
Pregnant, yes, probably.
Also, there's like some terrifying implications in that, which is just like well, I was using condoms, and then, we weren't. That's not a very healthy process that they.
Well, and then I think like their period was late, and it was just like, read everything you just told me, honey. Or worst case scenario, wait 9 months. Let's.
Do you?
You get it, right? Okay.
Yeah, that would help. I was listening to an interview with Dan Savage where he says he gets people just send him photos of their junk all the time, and are like, "Is this what is this? What are these growths?" Do you get that kind of gross stuff?
I haven't gotten photos sent yet. I'm actually been really surprised that people have not been skeevy at me, because like, I'm a woman on the internet talking about sex. I thought I would just be deluged with people being dicks to me.
You haven't been.
Not from like men being assholes, but like nobody has sent me a picture of their dick. That's not an invitation. I've only just recently gotten one person who was like, Erika Moen, you talk about sex all day long. What's your chatterbait handle? Don't be shy about it. You look at your job. And it was like, block.
Yeah.
But
so you get like it's like 1 in a million skeevy then? That's amazing.
Skeevy wise. I mean, I do have harassers and assholes, but like as far as men jerking off, like they've been very polite. They've been very respectful.
It's the most uplifting thing someone said on the show today. I'm glad about that. So do you attribute that to anything? Is it because one of the things you've done is not like even in you're reviewing a sex toy for these panels, but also through the way you draw the people that are participating in it, like Are you just overwhelmingly cool, and so it's hard to be a skeevy to you because you're just too nice, and like, is that a problem?
I don't know. What happens? I've always wondered why I don't get more. I don't get criticism from men's right activists, conservative Christian. What? I didn't get that Lids joke.
Lids is a hat store at the mall.
It's just a douchey hat store at the mall, so we figured that's where douchey guys would hang out.
Okay.
Lids with a Z, have you?
Baby, I'm going to the bookstore.
Yeah.
No, I'd never heard of them. Anyway, sorry, I didn't get your joke.
No, that was great. We just said.
Thank you for explaining it to me.
I'm a qualified joke educator, so I was ready for that.
But yeah, I don't get harassment from the people that you traditionally think of who would harass a woman on the internet. Sorry, what was the question?
No, we veered negative.
Oh, why is that?
I was just wondering if it's because you're too cool.
No, I think that they just don't give a fuck about my thing. I think it's not on their radar.
But you're on everybody else's radar because this has exploded. That sounds like a weird word for this, but it's been very popular. Anyway, I'm sorry. One of the reasons is that they're very funny, and another one is that the drawings are super cute. And I want to show people who have not, in case you haven't seen this, I'm going to warm up the projector because we're going to do this in a second. I hope that's going to warm up the projector. It's technology. Anyway, I'm going to show some. So there's going to be some cute images behind me in a second here. What's your the way you approach the topic? Like, what is your goal for the way you draw things and the way you talk about them? What are you trying to?
I'm trying to make the comics that I needed when I was first learning about sex, which is fun, friendly, accessible. I want people to read the comics and feel like they are part of a conversation, that they're in on the joke. People are much more receptive to learning when you are making them laugh, when you're lowering their defensives, because they're like, dick joke, lol. And then they're like, oh, and what's this you're saying about how to have anal sex safely? Yeah. And so I'm very much trying to just do something friendly and accessible.
I'm sorry, it just faded in behind you, and so that was kind of a weird...
Yeah.
So, just an example of, like, this is the Hitachi being too strong.
Yeah.
And I like it just because I like both of their faces.
Yeah.
like she's not unhappy, but she's, like, having a tough day. And the Hitachi's like, I'm just doing my best.
Yeah,
it's a living.
Well, that was my very first review of the Hitachi Magic Wand, and I had to list, like, what are some downsides of it, and I had to be like, well, it can overstimulate you, and so that's the vulva being overstimulated, and then the Hitachi wand being like, listen, you're cut off, you've had enough, you need a break.
It's time for some frank talk up there.
Yeah.
And you mentioned a second ago certain safe lessons having to do. So I'm going to show you the snails, because the snails are my favorite thing. Just click next or press an arrow or whatever you want to do. Yeah. So these are the anal safety snails, and they're all about going slow. And they are the cutest thing. And they're so good. And anytime she's talking about that subject, the snails show up. And it's so cute. And one of my favorite things in the book, in the back of the book, you have some FAQs about the book that you get a lot of. And one of the questions is about the safety snails. So tell me about how the safety snails came about.
Okay, so my husband wrote a review of Fleshlight's Sex in a Can fleshlight thing for your wiener.
Yeah.
And I just had a bunch of his talking heads explaining it. And in comics, something you want to avoid is just having panels of talking heads. It's really repetitive. It's boring for the viewer to read. And I needed to, like, throw in something else, but I didn't know what else to put in there. And I'd recently just done a painting of a snail, so snails were kind of on my mind. And I was like, I'm just going to have these two snails jump in and give a little information.
It wasn't a plan that you were like, well, look, they're all about slow and they're all these very lubricated.
Not at all. Like, it was
just happened to like snails.
I just wanted to draw a snail, and I had them introduce themselves as, okay, so, and the toy I was reviewing was a butt in the can, so I had them call themselves the anal safety snails. And then on Twitter, somebody was like, Erika, that was so clever how you had the acronym BASS, ass. And I was like,
totally on accident.
oh my God. And then later, when I was doing a comic about how to have butt sex, one of the things is, like, you're supposed to go slow, and you're supposed to use a whole bunch of lube, and you're supposed to communicate a lot. And I realized,
never add any salt.
No salt.
I'm sorry.
But a lot of butter is okay if you're French.
Well, and I realized, like, snails, they're really slimy. They're really looby.
Yeah,
so, like, they go slow, they're looby, and in my world, they like to talk to each other and communicate openly and honestly.
Yeah, that's the only part that I don't think everyone knew. But that is, like, it's such an amazing... They're so cute, and it's a great, like, they
love each other.
Yeah. So... Let me ask you a question about, you mentioned you're not an educator, right? But you also, as the year went along, one of the things that changed is it seemed like you started to feel some responsibility for it. Is that true? Like, it seems like you changed the tone. It got more educational, more like, welcome to the fun club, instead of just, this is a thing that's super fun for me. Was that a conscious decision? Did you start to feel like, because people were asking you questions about whether they're pregnant, did you start to, like, turn up your level of...
Well, it had always been built into it all along that there would be sex education in there. Because originally, before I started Oh Joy Sex Toy, I'd spent a year working on an educational book geared towards teenagers about how to become sexually active safely, which was 100% sex ed. And this is like how to do stuff. And then I kind of got burned out on that project. So I knew going into this one, sex ed is super, super important to me. And I knew that I wanted that to be in this comic as well, but I also could couch it with, or surround it with, like sex toys, da-da-da-da-da-da. But so sex ed was always like something that would be a priority in that comic.
And is that going to be, so what's your, like now that you've got the book, you're working on number 2, like you're working on your second year, what's the next, what's the direction you're going to do this year? Is there something we have to look forward to? Is there a new thing you're going to do, that a direction you haven't tried before?
Like what we're doing is working out really well already.
Yeah.
I mean, just
I'm not saying you have to change. Don't ever change.
A change that just happened maybe about 6 months ago is my husband. He has been working on the project full time with me, but he was also working at his other job doing like website stuff. It was always very confusing to me. And then he got laid off after working there 5 years, and so he now is working on this project with me full time. And so having both of us working on it full time is allowing us to like kind of expand it a little bit, but within reason. We're not trying to like go nuts.
Yeah, your website could get fancier.
Yeah.
Get a lot of his free time for that. Is that so? You still draw both people, right? You draw when it's his stories as well as when it's your stories. Is it harder to draw the other side's toys?
No, not at all.
Is it more? What's the most fun thing to draw then? What's the most fun?
Most fun. I really love drawing vulvas.
I did this comedy show where the artist draws from the comics the stand-up comedians' jokes, and penises. They're so excited to draw a penis, but when someone told a vagina joke, the artist did not know what to do, and it was determined that comic book artists or artists in general draw dicks more than vaginas.
Yeah. Well, actually, the funny thing is, I'm really bad at drawing dicks, and for about the first year's worth, I would draw the head on backwards. Like every time. And
I knew a guy like that.
So it was like.
And each time my husband would come over and he'd look at it and his face would fall and he'd be like, baby. And he actually is a really good artist too. And he basically the first years of penises in that comic were drawn by my husband. And he'd also be like, how do you not know this by now? And I'd be like, I don't know which way it's facing when it's inside my mouth. So,
yeah, girl.
Don't got eyes in there.
That's right.
So.
It's also like it's a different angle, right? Like when I look in my hair in the mirror, the part is on a different side than I think.
It's the same thing, Alex. You're right.
Like
same thing. Exactly the same thing.
I'm penis dyslexic.
I didn't want to say anything, but when you did you did overhand for the can, which seemed like it wouldn't happen. So it seems like maybe you just think penises are the opposite side.
I mean, like you've got the can right side up and the hole's at the top, and then you go like this. Right?
Doesn't that seem awkward? Does this not seem like a hard...
I haven't used it, so I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good thing that he's there to help you put the heads on straight. So you're going to be outside after you're going to be in the lobby area after this. You're going to be signing copies of the book. This is what the book is. You guys should get it. It's heavy, but it's also adorable. So get a book. She'll sign it. And you can also find them at ojoysextoy.com.
Yep.
And... that's good.
Ooh, that's it.
Good.
My Twitter is Erika Moen.
Nice.
And Erika spelled with a K, because Erika with a C is somebody else. And she gets a lot of my email that's meant for me.
Oh, no! And we know what those emails are.
Oh, yeah. No, she forwards them to me. It's hilarious.
Erika with the C will answer whether or not you're pregnant, though. She's very quick on that. Ladies and gentlemen, Erika Moen, ojoysextoy.com. That's the book. Gentlemen, please welcome out. He's the mayor of Portland hip hop. Please welcome to the stage, Cool Nutz.
How's everybody doing this evening? We came a long way from Northeast Portland across Williams to do this for you. Want to say happy 2015 to everybody. Happy New Year's. Me and DJ Fat Boy. He just has to get prepped real quick. You ready? Everybody come to have a good time tonight? Check it out. This is a thing we do called hip hop. I've been doing it for a minute. Go by the name of Cool Nutz. And we want you to enjoy this, have a good time. I want to tell them thank you for having us. And let's just feel free to get up if you want to, but let's go. It's a song off my new album entitled Bruh. This song is called Married to This because this rap thing is like a relationship. There's good, bad, ups and downs. Sometimes I want to divorce it, but we've been blessed to make a living off of it. And I need everybody put your hands up one time. Let's go. Check. It's suckers in the winter, it's suckers in the summer. Jealousy and hatred for brothers doing numbers. And God bred a mogul, pursuit and the hustle. Ambition in the struggle, don't let the world judge you. I've been grinding for the hard life, suspension and a tightrope. Dreams out of eyesight, dumb-ass brothers and catting around. Running streets with that paperwork and ratting around. It's cool playing Portland, they clacking around. But every brother with a pistol ain't keeping it real. Everybody with a snapback and always been trill. Everybody that's tatted ain't repping the field. Holograms and some trick shots. These clown bitches. It's hella slick talk. Everybody. And some slick plot. It's hella funny till they really did a real shot. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Everybody with the shit. Come on. I'm married to the shit. Really married to the shit. Come on. I'm married to the shit. Portland, I'm married to the shit. If you having a good time, make some noise, y'all. Come on, really. Competition ain't nothing till the numbers add up. All these people feeling something cause we make it look fun. Globe trying on some Portland shit, sipping some Euro and sipping on some foreign shit. Something French in my glass now. Time zones and we flying in them other clouds. It's really lavish, niggas smoking on that other loud. Celebrate and smoke a pack of bab. Let the smokes fill your lungs, people. We been winning rap, living, yeah, it's fun, people. You've been a witness to that good crime. And legendary Judge family brought the city shine. Wood line in the field, brother. You might hate it cause I repped it for the real brother. Pop a bottle, everybody make a toast to it. And Portland rap, we really did the most to it. Let's go, I'm married to the shit. Hands up, I'm married to the shit. Come on. I'm married to the shit. Really married to the shit. Portland, I'm married to the shit. Yeah, really married to the shit. Come on, I'm married to the shit. I need everybody to do one thing. Say ho. Say ho. Say make money, money, make money, money, money. Everybody, say take money, money, take money, money, money. That's the type of energy I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool Nut. Cool Nutz, everybody. Mike. Cool Nutz, everybody.
Yeah.
Cool Nutz. I'm going to sit down here for a second.
Okay.
How often do you do completely seated shows? At like 7 o'clock? This is weird for you?
I mean, the thing is, I got a funny story. The last seated show we did was at Larch Mountain Jail across... and the guards, one of the things was the guards wouldn't let the inmates stand up, and I told them to stand up anyway, so they kind of kicked us out. That was the last seated show. The Fat Boy remembers that because one of the dudes asked him could he have his glasses, so let me get your glasses.
Make it sound creepy when you say it that way.
Exactly.
You've been doing this for a hot second here in town. How hard is this to do in Portland? Like, you're not in LA, you're not in New York. Is it possible to make a living doing hip hop in Portland?
I think for me it was a little bit because I started like when we learned by trial and error and went through the whole independent time of building something from scratch.
Yeah.
And so I was able to build a strong foundation for myself. I think you can do it in Portland. I think because we learned a lot from the independent rock scene, because even a lot of the stuff that we did coming up was based off of what we saw rock bands doing and even playing shows with them. And,
yeah, but the rock shows don't get shut down by the cops 9 out of 10 times right now. Like,
no.
It seems a little like they have a better relationship with the cops. It seems hard right here, right?
I mean, for me, that was one of the things that I learned is, like you said, we're not in LA, we're not in New York, we're not in Miami. So doing hip hop in Portland, you have to have certain relationships. And I learned that a long time ago because we had those problems in the 90s, you know.
But you've got a new record now. What the new record was called?
It's called Bruh.
Bruh?
Yeah. Like when you see something crazy, you say, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So, new album. It'll be out February 26th.
And we're gonna find that on coolnutz.net.
Yes.
Also, we can hear you. You're on Jammin' 107.5, right? You're doing the up and coming show, the breakout show. Where you're highlighting. So you're helping out like people like you got. You said you learned all this stuff from trial and error. You're helping bring other people up.
Yeah. Well, the breakout show we air every Sunday night on Jammin' 107.5 from 9 to midnight. And the reason it's called the breakout show is because we showcase regional hip hop from Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana. But then also the breakout part is we play all of the major hip hop that they don't play on the show. So like you hear the exclusive Rick Ross, the Jay-Z's, and a lot of stuff from the region as well. So
coolnutz.net. Let's hear one more song from you. Yeah. Cool Nutz, everybody!
Yeah. And so I need everybody to get up on this one. I need everybody to get up out their seats on this one. This is a single right here, and this is for the ladies. I need all the ladies to put your hands up. Yo, sound man, can we turn it up some? Everybody say yeah. Say yeah. Now I need all the ladies to scream one time. Let's go. From the very first sight, her mind on cutting on the very first night. We can bounce in the whip. She's the sexiest thing. I love her hips and her lips. Made just for me. The way baby move be testing me. Everybody put your hands up. Put your hands up. Check. She's all on my brain. She's all off the chain. Her body talk shit when she walk in the room. She move like a ghost and it seemed like a dream. Still move like a queen when she works them G's. She's thick, corn-fed, ham hocks and green. Sophisticated, classy, fresh off the streets. Fresh off the bricks, acquainted with turf shit. But fresh out the pages of Victoria's Secret. We can push in the whip. She can push in the clip. That's real thug love when it's popping in the club. She keep her mouth shut and body's dropping in the club. Everybody get your hands up. Let's go. From the very first sight. My mind on cutting on the very first night. We can bounce in the whip. She's the sexiest thing. I love her hips and her lips. Made just for me. The way baby move be testing me. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. She been a top notch. I can see the potential. In the weekend special, been burning up the rental. She's all at my show with my words in a dental. See how a real nigga could kill the instrumental. Us just fanboys never soft and gentle. The boy a sex symbol, freaky thoughts on your mental. It's Desert Eagle shit, high caliber girl. It's rumbling the block, reminiscent of pop. Hands up. Hands up. On cutting on the very first time. Come on. In the whip, she's the sexiest. I love her hips and her lips. Made just for me. The way baby move be testing me. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Everybody say ho. Say ho. Say rock that shit. Say rock that shit. Say ho. Say ho. Say rock that shit. Come on now. Now I need every hand up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Everybody in the building. I want to say thank you for having me tonight. Cool Nutz, DJ Fat Boy, late night action. And on a serious note, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time for Portland, so I appreciate all the love and positive energy. Have a safe night. Stay blessed, everybody, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Cool Nutz, everybody! He blew it up at the end. Thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate having you guys. You guys, thank you, everybody who came.